MK11, this game is actually mad easy. I'm not gonna lie, that game is for children. It's very easy, bro. I don't even want to explain it. Like, I'm sure if you watch any type of MK11, you understand that that game is for toddlers. The mechanics were made for toddlers, bro.
What is up, everybody? This is Justin Wong, and Panda has tasked me to make a tier list on the fighting games. This tier list is not really about which game is good or bad. It's more of like which games are the easiest to learn to get into versus which games are the most difficult games to learn to.
You know what else is very simple to do? Hit that subscribe button and let's get into the video.
This is Arcana Heart 3. I played Arcana Heart 1 and 2, but let's make an assumption. I feel like Arcana Heart in general 1 and 2 were not easy to get into. I would say they're somewhat tough.
Meanwhile,
so ARMS, I think I played ARMS for like a few times, and I feel like it's easy to get into, right? Somewhat easy. You're just really just zoning people out. So we put that. Battle Fantasia, actually, I think it's a 5-5. Like, I played a little bit of it, and I don't know, like, obviously, like, the meta, but it was pretty easy for me to get into, but I think for like other people it might be like a 5-5. So we put a 5-5. Blade Arceus, I would say it's somewhat easy to get into. I guess I didn't like it, but it was definitely somewhat easy to get into. Blade Strangers, I think it might be tough.
BlazBlue, I think this game is pretty difficult, honestly. There's a lot of mechanics, so I'm gonna put that one in very hard. There's a lot of mechanics, a lot of character matchups you need to know, because there's a lot of weird things. Every character has like some unique stuff. Some character have like things that like take meter and stuff. Like, it's a lot of stuff you got to get used to. I'm gonna say that one's very hard.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and Panda is raising money for a mental health charity with a brand new line. Check it out at panda.gg/oneday. Challenges with mental health can feel overwhelming. That's why sometimes it's important to celebrate the accomplishment of getting through a single day. By reframing how we tackle our struggles, we can work towards cultivating better mental health. Healing can be slow, but things will get better, one day at a time.
BlazBlue. There we go. The hardest. Beware when trying. This game is very hard. Combos are very hard. Even you going through the trial mode it's like super tough in general. So I would say that's very hard. So beware when trying. Lethal League, I think it's very easy to get into. I think that one's super fun. I feel like arena fighting games are like easy to get into. But it seems like the more casual audience are more understanding of how to get into those games. So I feel like anytime we see Smash Brothers or like Brawlhalla or like those type of games, we'll put it to easy to get into.
Bro, no way these are all fighting games, right? Or is these some of these Chaos Code? I just don't know any of them. Street Fighter Cross Tekken. This game, I think overall, like, it is pretty easy to play. Like, they made the combo system pretty easy. I'm gonna say it's easy but a little hard because there are some, they still have links in the game, and there's some hard things to do. Like, if you play certain characters, there's like hard Tekken motions that you might not be used to as a Street Fighter player. But overall, the game, I think, is pretty easy to get into.
What is this? Bust a Move? Is this even a fighting game? Does this even count? Yeah, I never actually really played Chaos Code. It's definitely on my list to try. Street Fighter Cross Tekken. All right, the first Street Fighter game that we're in. I think this version of Street Fighter Cross Tekken might be a little bit too much. Like, I think it's might be tough. Like, even though it's like pretty easy to get into if you're a hardcore FGC player, but for a casual player with like all the different combos, because it's a lot of combos, right? So I'm gonna say that it is might be tough. Dive Kick, I think that's very easy to get into.
Dive Kick, I'm guessing this game is easy. I never played it, but I'm gonna put it in easy because I think it's only like one button, right? So it can't really be hard. DOA, I don't know. I've never played it. Fantasy Strike, never played it. Fighting EX Layer, I've never played or watched that game. I know nothing about that. BlazBlue Cross Tag, that game is easy. That game is literally so easy, bro. Everything that's hard about BlazBlue, they just took out a cross tag battle and made it a party game. That's a pretty easy game to play and get into. It was fun while it lasted for me, but it's pretty easy.
DOA 6, I actually never played before, but I think we can make an assumption on DOA 6. I think it's somewhat easy to get into because like on a casual level, you're just like mashing, right? And when you're mashing strings, you can get these cool combos out. So I think we could make an assumption that it's somewhat easy to get into, even if you don't know what you're doing. Fantasy Strike, never played before, actually. I mean, I played it once, but I don't know what am I doing or whatever. So yeah, we're gonna say that. Fighting EX Lair. This is a game that I really like a lot. I actually think this game is might be tough just because of the Gogi system alone. Like if you didn't have the Gogi system and it was just like raw gameplay, it would be like somewhat easy to get into. But the Gogi system and learning everything, bro, I don't even know all the Gogi system. I don't even know what some of them do. So we're gonna put them might be tough. BlazBlue cross tag paddle. Hardest, I think this is hard. Beware when trying, because like dude, the whole tag system and takeover is just insane. It's crazy, right? CVS 2. I think CVS 2 is actually a 5-5. It's like so like fundamentally solid where like a lot of people can just, you know, play how they like because it's so free, and you know it's very easy to get into the combos most of the part, especially if you're using K Groove. So we're gonna put it 5-5 because I don't think it's easy to get into.
Capcom versus SNK 2. I'm gonna say this game is very hard for one simple reason is I don't know too much about the game, but there's a thing called roll canceling in that game, and I tried to do that for about an hour, 2 hours, and I got it maybe like 1 or 2 times. So off the simple fact of that being in the game, I'm gonna say this game is pretty hard. And honestly, the combo system is pretty hard to, you know, really get really good at, I would say. So I think that game is pretty hard. Dragon Ball FighterZ. I'm gonna say this game's easy, but a little hard. And I'm gonna say it's a little hard for the simple fact that learning how to move around in Dragon Ball is so unique since they have like a floating system, and also like, you know, characters have like re-jump combos, and those are a little hard. But like just moving around in that game, I think it's very hard to just learn how to really move around and get really good at moving around, because floating around and just knowing how to float and pick your spot and where you want to float to or be at, it can get really hard if you don't play it a lot. So I think this game is easy for sure, but it's a little hard. Killer Instinct. I've never played it. I don't know anything.
Dragon Ball FighterZ. I guess that's like somewhat easy to get into. We'll put that as somewhat easy to get into. Killer Instinct. I think Killer Instinct is a very specialist and like loyalist type of game. So I'm gonna put that might be tough. King of Fighters 14. I guess King of Fighters 14. It's definitely not like King of Fighters 13 in terms of like hard or like even the old school King of Fighters. We'll put this as 5-5 for sure.
Is this KOF 14? I don't think I played that one. MK11? This game is actually mad easy. I'm not gonna lie. That game is for children. It's very easy, bro. I don't even want to explain it. Like, I'm sure if you watch any type of MK11, you understand that that game is for toddlers. The mechanics were made for toddlers, bro. Trust me on that one. Marvel 2, I think this game is very hard. I played a bit as a kid, and like moving around in Marvel 2, you have to be so fast, so precise. Everything is like moving at light speed when you play that game. So you have to be thinking so much and moving around the screen at the same time. So you have to be moving your hands so fast.
Mortal Kombat 11. I actually think Mortal Kombat 11 is very easy to get into. Marvel's Capcom 2. Oh man, you know, obviously I love this game. You have to learn 3 characters, right? Learning 3 characters is tough, and there's no like auto combo or anything that's like Dragon Ball has, like a super dash that like it makes you feel like you're approaching. So I'm gonna put this as might be tough, right? There's no way we can put a higher like higher than Dragon Ball, like easy to get into a Dragon Ball and everything like that. So this is interesting. MVCI, that I think this is hardest for sure, because it requires you to have some fast ass hands, bro.
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, this game is pretty easy. I'm not gonna lie. Everything about the game is easy. Soul Calibur, I've never played Soul Calibur. Street Fighter Third Strike, I've never really played it. I played it so little that I don't really have an opinion. Alpha 2, I've never played it, so I don't know. Street Fighter 5, I don't think I played that one. Easy but a little hard. There's a lot of mechanics in Street Fighter 5 these days, so, you know, using your V meter wisely, along with dealing with all the craziness in the game, nah, I'm gonna go with easy.
I like Soul Calibur 2. I think Soul Calibur 2 is somewhat easy to get into. Any of the 3D games, I think it's very easy to get into, right? Easy to play and stuff like that. Just because it's like, you don't have to be, like I said, a professional. Soul Calibur 6, I actually never played before, and I heard it's like very different compared to like other Soul Caliburs. Third Strike, I actually think a lot of people only play this game because of the Daigo parry. Like, I feel like people don't know how hard this game really is, but parry, I guess, makes people feel really happy. Parrying does make the whole easy to get into for sure, because people just want to tap forward or tap down to turn blue and then feel good about themselves. But in general, I do think it's one of the other Street Fighter games that are much easier to learn, because you don't really have to learn, like, I would say, like spacing and footsies, because, you know, it's like Street Fighter is like fireball Hadouken, you jump Shoryuken. This game you can parry all that stuff, right? So I think this one's somewhat easy to get into. Alpha 2, I think it's somewhat easy to get into. It's not as advanced compared to like Alpha 3, so I'm gonna put Alpha 2 as somewhat easy to get into for sure. Street Fighter 5. Well, Street Fighter 5, the purpose of Street Fighter 5, from what I was told, from what I heard from the grapevine, is that they wanted to lower the skill gap. They wanted to lower, like, you know, they wanted to make sure that casual players can reach the levels where, you know, their top players, you know, existed, blah, blah, blah. So I think Street Fighter 5 is not really easy to get into at its fullest, but I'm gonna say it's somewhat easy to get into. Skullgirls, I love Skullgirls. I'm so happy that Skullgirls is finally getting like their shine, you know, being at Evo and stuff like that this year. But it is a very hard game, so we're going to put that as hardest.
Tekken 7, I definitely don't know. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that's funny. Under Night and Birth, I played Unio. This game is pretty difficult, honestly. I'm gonna go with very hard. That game is pretty hard to play.
Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. I mean, this is a classic, and a lot of people could play it in like their own ways. It's very easy to get into, just to mash and stuff like that. Tekken 7. Tekken 7. I think this one's tough because they have like new combos with the bounces, the walls, the rage arts, the what's the other, the rage special moves and stuff like that. This one's a little tough, but it's like fine wine tough, you know what I mean? TMT Tournament Fighters, I like this game a lot. I think this one is somewhat easy to get into. The spamming is the name of these older games for sure, so I would say this one's just easy to get into, but I don't want to put it easy to get into. I want to put it into somewhat, just because maybe I just don't have enough data for it. Other Knife In Birth. I don't want to put this in the hardest because I don't want to just label all animes games as the hardest. But Other Knight's a little bit more lenient. So we're going to put this under Uh-Oh Might Be Tough. But it's still pretty hard just because people likes parries, man. Vampire Saviors. The Dark Force and everything. That gets a little tough. So we're going to put Might Be Tough, right? Guilty Gear Rev 2. I know Kizzie loves this game. And he talks about how this is not that hard to get into. But I think it's definitely not easy to get into compared to Strive. Strive is way easier. So we're going to put it to Uh-Oh Might Be Tough.
I don't know what this even is. Injustice 2? I feel like this game was kind of difficult. Injustice 1? I mean, it's same thing. Alright, they pretty much the same game, honestly. It's not much change from 1 to 2 besides characters and combos, really. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? I don't know. Karnoff Revenge? Not sure. KOF 13, you know we putting this in very hard, bro. You seen us do the combo trial. Off the combos alone, and the combos I've seen people pull off in tournaments, and knowing that it takes a big execution to do that, this game is very hard just from the execution alone, not gonna lie to you.
Garo, Mark of the Wolves. All right, Garo, Mark of the Wolves is a very tough game actually, but I don't think it's the hardest, but it's definitely not easy. So we'll put it under, might be tough. Yeah, Guilty Gear Accent Core plus R. I mean, it's so technical. So we're gonna put that there. Hokuto no Ken, Fistful of North Star. Yeah, this is number 1, bro. Number 1 on the hardest list. Like, it's just insane. It's just like literally like 10-minute combos, bro, for the most part. Injustice 2. I think Injustice 2 and Injustice 1, I mean, they're both next to each other. They're pretty easy to get into just because like it's NRS games, and NRS games are pretty easy to like understand what you're doing. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I think this one is a very hard game. Karnos Revenge. Actually, Karnos Revenge is pretty darn easy to play, so we're going to put that as somewhat easy to get into. King of Fighters 13, the forbidden game that we must not talk about. It's not very easy, I would say. It's not the easiest for sure compared to other King of Fighters. It can be tough, so but I don't think it's like tougher than anime combos, so we'll put this under might be tough. King of Fighters 2 Ultimatch though, so we're gonna put this under the hardest because the combos in this one are so much tighter and it doesn't even look like it's supposed to combo. So yeah, I mean, King of Fighters 98, I guess this is Dream Match and Ultimate Match. So I never really played too much of Ultimate Match. I think it's a 5-5.
I don't know about any of these old KOF games. Never played them. Don't know what that is. Melty Blood, which one is? I've never played. I've only played Type Lumina. Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I'm gonna say this game is difficult. Persona 4. I'm not sure. That was Bark. Persona 4. I'm not sure. PlayStation All, but I can't believe they have that. I've never played that game either.
Melty Blood I think is I feel like they don't really have long ass combos, but I guess the grasp of Oki doesn't really make sense to a lot of people. So we'll put this under, it might be tough. Smash Bros. Melee. Oh man. Artists. Yo, rest in peace, your hands. Okay, Mortal Kombat 9 and Mortal Kombat 10. So these two games, even though when I say NRS games are like blah, 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 these two games are different because these two games are very combo heavy. So we'll put that under 5-5. Marvel's Capcom 3. I love Marvel's Capcom 3. A lot of people love it. But when it comes down to it, it is still a little tough. Nothing's more simple than Nidhogg. You just poke and advance forward. That's really it. Nitro Blasters, never played before. I've been watching this on Kizzie's channel, him doing trials. Yeah, I mean, we already know where we're going to put it. The hardest. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, bro. Yeah. Project M. I don't know anything about Project M, so
let's just get them out the way. Tatsunoko versus Capcom. This game was kind of sick. I played it when I was so young. I can't remember. Everything was pretty easy from what I remember. Them fighting herds I have very limited time on, but I actually think this game is pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go with difficult because I feel like I got the hang of the game really fast when I played it. But like, this game is actually really fun. I would say everyone go check that out. Them fighting herds is fun.
Pokken Tournament's actually very easy to get into, I think. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. I think this is it's under the hardest category. Puyo Puyo Tetris. Does this even count as a fighting game? Yeah. Punch Planet. I would say this is 5-5. I don't know too much about it, but it was pretty easy to get into when I was playing it. I like it a lot. Rising Thunder. I think Rising Thunder, like, their purpose was to make things easier, fighting games easier. So I would say that's pretty easy to get into for sure. Yeah, they did a great job with that. Rivals of Aether. I don't know if I've ever seen this game before. This Sailor Moon S. I think it's Sailor Moon S. Sailor Moon S is, like I said, somewhat easy to get into, just like ST. Samurai Showdown. Yo, low key, I have never played the first Samurai Showdown I've ever played in my life. It was Samurai Showdown 2019. I never played these old school Samurai Showdowns that people always talk about as classics, so I am sorry that I have sinned. Alpha 3, we talked about how Alpha 2 is bare bones, but Alpha 3 is definitely under the might be tough category just because of the whole like ESAM, which changes a lot about the game, right? Street Fighter EX2 Plus. I think Street Fighter EX2 Plus is pretty easy to get into for sure. Super Smash Bros. 64. Man, I entered this tournament, I got destroyed. So I'm gonna put this under might be tough because it seems like it's like more of like a touch of depth situation that happens in these combos, but it's pretty linear. You know, Smash Bros. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, very easy to get into. Obviously, we talked about it earlier. Cosmo vs. Capcom. This is a game that a lot of people probably never played before. But I do think it's under the might be tough category. Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection. I think Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection is pretty easy because there was no bounce or rage at the point. Tekken Tag Tournament 2. I guess that's under might be tough. Just learning two characters. Learning two characters is kind of tough already. Tekken Tag 1, same category. Them Fighting Herds. I think this is pretty hard. I think Ultra Street Fighter 4 is 5-5. It's a lot of people really got back into Street Fighter from Ultra Street Fighter 4, but it's still a pretty hard game overall in terms of like one frame links and everything like that. But people are willing to play this game. So
Street Fighter 4, I think this is like difficult. I don't think it's very hard. Like they have like one frame links, of course, and that's hard to do, but I feel like you can get into Street Fighter 4 pretty easily once you understand how a link works, right? So Footsies is a very easy game. You know, it's very easy concept. You just gotta whiff punish, right? I don't know. Is that supposed to be here? I don't know what that is. Not sure what Street Fighter 4 remix is, but yeah, this is our list right here.
Virtua Fighter 5. Yep. Hardest. Footsies is, I think, pretty somewhat easy to get into. For sure. I don't think it's like easy to get into. Actually it is. Yeah, it's easy to get into. I mean, I'm tripping. It's just that some people could just play lame and play footsies, right? So Waku 7. I mean, it's just somewhat easy to get into. You just mash. Windjammers. Is this a fighting game? I don't think this counts as a fighting game, but I would put this under easy to get into for sure. Street Fighter 4 Remix. What the hell is Street Fighter 4 Remix? And Super Smash Bros. On the 3DS and the Wii U. What's this one? We're gonna not count this, right? But this is my list right here. You know, you have a bunch of easy to get into games. I think it's a weird tier list. If you look at this tier list, you'd be like, what is Justin Wong making here? We
didn't know a lot of these games. I don't know who. Maybe Justin would know some of these if he's on a video. He probably know a lot of these games, but I don't play too many fighting games. I just play enough. I feel like this is a lot though.
Overall, I think this is a great list. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you guys have some of the same sentiments? Do you think I put some of the games too easy or too hard?
Make sure you like and subscribe as always, and we will see you in the next one.